Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited to be showing you my August TBR. So that basically is all the books I want to read in August if it was a perfect world. I'm not saying I'm going to get to them all. I may read other things. For the most part, this will be what I plan on reading for the month of August. So let's get right into the list. The first book I will be trying to read in August is the book illuminae. This is the book right here. I actually already started it. It's a beautiful book. First of all, I love the cover, but the inside, like without the jacket, looks like this. And that to me is so cool. It is very beautiful. I'm on page 112, I think, right now, so far so good. This book is about two kids, Katie and Ezra, and they just broke up, and that same day their planet was invaded. And it kind of goes into what happens, how they deal with it, and just a little tidbit. I don't like knowing a lot about books before I go into them, so I won't be giving like the best synopsis of all these books because that's how I prefer to go into the books, not knowing a lot. So since I haven't read it, I'm not going to be able to share a lot of information about them to you. But please feel free to look up the books on your own and get some sort of idea of what they are if my explanations are not good enough. But anyway, that's the main synopsis. From what I understand is two kids, young kids, their planet is invaded and chaos ensues from there, and you kind of go on the journey with them. And I believe it's in space. It's like a sci-fi book. This is a part of a trilogy, which is really exciting. So far I'm liking the book. It was a little hard to get into it at first because it was kind of confusing, but once you get the main premise, I think it's going to be good from here. Another cool thing about this book is that the way the pages are set up, it's not like a normal book. It's like set up in like transcripts and emails and all these things. Like it looks really visually appealing, and there's a lot of cool things that I like about it, so it doesn't read like a normal book, which is fun. And I also heard that the audiobook is really good, and the best way to read this book is to actually have the audio book play while you're reading it, because you kind of get like the visual and the audio of it, because the audio does have a full cast and does use like some like ambiance noises to really get you like caught up in the story. So that is what I'm doing. I'm also listening to this on audiobook as I read it. So far it's been a very enjoyable experience, and that's one of the reasons why I've been liking this book, is truly just because it's different. I like reading books that have like different concepts and stuff like that because it just makes it a little bit more fun. So many books are the same, you know, it's just a book, which I can appreciate. But sometimes when authors get creative, it makes the reading experience just a little bit more fun, so I've been enjoying it. The next book that I plan on reading this month is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hart Castle. So this was on my TBR for the reading rush that I did this past month in July, and it was one of those books that if I can get to it, great, and I didn't get to it, obviously. I'm already 130 pages into this book, so I've already read a good chunk of it. I know what's going on already. It's not like I have to reread it, so right after I finish illuminae, I'm jumping right into this book because I really want to finish it. It's good. Basically, it is Evelyn Hart Castle dies, big surprise, and you have to figure out who kills her. Kind of reminds me of like the Clue game, the Clue board game that I played when I was younger. I absolutely loved that game, and it kind of reminds me of that. So you are trying to figure out who killed her and like what happened, but you jump in different bodies. So every day you wake up as someone else, kind of living the same day and trying to figure out what happens and trying to collect clues from different people, like living their day and seeing how it connects, figuring out what happened. So it's very interesting. It is a good book. I don't know why. One day I kind of just put it down, picked up another book, and never picked it back up again. So my goal is to finish this book this month because it's just been staring at me in my bookshelf, and I know that it's a good read, so I want to finish it. So I will let you know if I finish it, fingers crossing, that if I read any book this month, it is this one, okay? The next book after that I want to pick up is The Two Lives of Lydia. First of all, this cover is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Just like the pink hues and the details. I am a sucker for a good cover. Truly, like I do judge it by its cover, okay? I know you shouldn't. Not to say that I won't read a book if it doesn't have a good cover. I'm not saying that. But if it has a nice cover, I'm more inclined to pick it up. And this one does. So anyway, I think this sounds like a really cute romantic story. It's supposed to be like a tragic romance kind of thing. So it revolves around a Lydia bird, and she is, I believe it's a husband or a boyfriend. I'm not sure if they're married or not, but she's in a relationship with a partner, and it's like the best relationship ever, you know, relationship goals basically. She's in love and she's so happy with her relationship, which is great. That's awesome. I wish that for everyone, right? Then one day he dies in a tragic car accident, which is horrible. She is torn with grief and sadness, obviously. She doesn't know how to pick up her life again after her husband has tragically passed away. But then all of a sudden something happens and she is able to be pulled into this world where her husband still lives. Let me read it because it explains it better than I do. Then something inexplicable happens that gives her another chance at her old life with Freddie. A life where none of the tragic events of the past few months have happened. She is able to live two lives impossibly at once, but there's an emotional toll to returning to a world where Freddie alive still owns her heart because there's something new in her life, her real life, who wants her to stay. So I just feel like it's a really interesting concept. I'm kind of in the mood for like a little bit of romance, and it just looks really nice, like a tragic romance. It's gonna make me feel things, hopefully, we'll see. And I really like how creative the cover is. So she's living two lives, one with Freddie, and then like that's her actual reality. I just thought it was a really cool concept, and I'm interested to see it. I've heard some good reviews on it, so hopefully I like it. We'll see. So definitely want to read this book this month. Okay, and the next book I want to read this month is His Dark Materials. I think it's called The Golden Compass. This is the first book, and I'm actually listening to this on audiobook because I heard that this is a great audiobook. I'm really into audiobooks right now that have full cast because it's just so much more enjoyable to listen to. Not to say that I won't listen to an audiobook if it doesn't have a full cast, but if there is one, sign me up because I want to read it. So I don't know anything about this book. I just heard that it's a good audiobook and it has a full cast, and so I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to know anything about it. I haven't read the synopsis. I'm really just trusting that people think it's a good audiobook, and I'm intrigued. And I'll definitely let you guys know if it's good or not. It's part of a series, I think, of books, so it should be interesting, and I hope it is as good as people say because I have no idea what it is, so we'll see. The next book I will be listening to, I will also be listening to as an audiobook, and that is Clap When You Land. I heard that this book is specifically good to listen to an audiobook because it is written in verse, so it'll be interesting to hear it, how it sounds in audiobook. This book follows two young girls whose father has tragically died in a plane crash. The spin is that the two sisters don't know each other and they don't know that they share the same father. So the father was kind of living two separate lives, and it kind of goes into, you know, the girls dealing with that, learning more about their father who they viewed as a hero, and more about this other life that he lived in this other family that he had. So that's all I really know about it. It sounds really interesting, and I'm excited to listen to it. The reviews have been amazing. I think it has 4.44 stars on Goodreads, so I feel like that's a really good review. If people love it, I want to see what the hype is about. Hopefully I will enjoy it as well. The next book I want to read this month is A Gathering of Shadows, and I don't have this book yet because I've been doing a pickup option on my bookstore where I order online and you can just they just drop it off in your trunk basically, which is really cool, but they don't have this book in stock, so I have to order it online. So I'm waiting for this book to come in. This is the second book in the Shades of Magic trilogy. I just read A Darker Shade of Magic, the first book, during my reading rush last month. So this is the second one to that, and I'm super excited. If you don't know the premise of the first book, basically it is about a guy named Kel, and he is able to travel between alternate universes of London. So there's different Londons. There's Grey London, which is the London that we know. There's Red London, which is where he lives. And there's White London, which is consumed by magic and has evil leaders and stuff like that. So it is a really, really cool premise for a book. I ended up giving that book 5 out of 5 stars, so I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to pick up the next book because I want to see what happens. And I heard that the second book is the best one. It's way better than the first one, so if I enjoyed the first one as much, I'm really excited to read the second one because if it's even better, then I'm in for a treat. And the thing about series with me is I'm very bad with finishing them, so that's definitely why I want to read the second book this month, because I don't want to let a bunch of months go by without me reading it, because then it's more likely that I won't finish the series, and I don't want to do that to myself because it's really good, so I want to finish this series. I want to finish this book this month, so hopefully I get to it. The next book I want to read in the month of August is Demon Slayer 2. This is a manga, and I read the first one last month. It was very good. I had seen the anime for it, which was so good, and that's what made me want to read it. And the first manga of this finished off where the anime finished off. So I'm finally so ready to jump into this one because it did end on a cliffhanger and I want to see what happens. It's also a really fast read, obviously, and the pictures are really nice, and I'm just really enjoying it. So I'm excited to get into this one. And the last book that I want to read in the month of August is Midnight Sun. Judge me if you want. Here's your opportunity. I don't care. Listen, I was obsessed with Twilight. Big fan. I'm not even going to try to hide it. I read all the books, saw all the movie premieres, went to all the DVD premieres. I was a fan, okay? I was a fan. Team Jacob all the way. Don't come at me. Anyway, so my point is that I'm super excited to read this book. I've been looking forward to this. I feel like it's been forever ago since she said she was going to try to put Edward's point of view, and it just never happened. So yeah, this is, from what I understand, this book is Edward's point of view of like the first thing. I don't really know. I'm not trying to know too much about it before going into it, but I'm so excited to read it. I hope it's as good as I'm hoping it is going to be. I don't want it to ruin my experience with Twilight, and that's why I'm not rereading the Twilight books, because I have a good experience with it. I don't want to reread it now and hate it, because I just think that would be a waste of my time and a waste of all the great memories that I associate with Twilight. Plus, I don't know where any of my Twilight books are. None of them. I feel like I have lost so many books, like from my move. I have no idea where those books are, and so many of the books I have. So even if I wanted to reread it, I had to buy them all, and I'm not doing that. So I may reread the movies in anticipation for it, which I feel like may be fun. So maybe I'll do that just to get in the mood before I read it. But hopefully I can pick up that book. It hasn't even come out yet. I don't have a copy, but it will be coming out in a couple of days. So if I can get my hands on that one, I will try to read it in the month of August. So that's it, you guys. Those are all the books I plan on reading in the month of August. Let me know in the comments what books you guys are going to be reading in the month of August, and if you've read any of the books that I plan on reading, let me know your thoughts on it. No spoilers, please. I will be very upset with you. Very upset, okay? I don't even like reading the synopsis, so seriously, just tell me what your thoughts were, what you rated them, and stuff. Please subscribe, click the bell so you get notifications when I post new videos. Thank you guys. Again, I hope you have an amazing month of reading, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.